I
Okay.
don't know if you guys can record as well. So welcome everyone. This is an orientation for the first year students for you guys in advance at the start of this emergency semester of online learning. Not what anybody expected, although it was not entirely unpredictable. I told my second year class that it was quite likely we would not be meeting in person throughout the semester, and here we are. This is called Zoom. It's a fabulous program that allows us to meet remotely. It is an online meeting program, and we are going to be using this. The country has purchased this for the universities, and this is where classes will be taking place throughout this unsettling and unusual semester. To repeat what I said before, we're asking everyone to keep their cameras on. It's good to see you. It's good for everyone to see each other. It makes it feel a little bit more like there's some humanity there. We can see each other's faces. In my classes, and what I'm doing here is I'm muting people as they come in. Right now, Professor Kohlbrenner and I are together, and so I've unmuted him, and I've obviously kept myself unmuted. It doesn't mean you have to be silent. We have two ways of being in touch. This is some technical aspects. One is the chat. You can unmute yourselves. I have made that possible, so Murad is correct. You guys right now have the ability to unmute yourselves. Any hosts, that means the instructor, can change that setting, but I trust you guys. If you have something to say, you can just unmute yourself and say it. Two other ways, and this is probably the more sensible ways of going about this. Use the chat button. You guys can say anything you want to everyone, like Lior Zori had some advice for, you have some advice on the side. There's a lot of all the technical stuff, anything in the technology, you can share that with everyone. If you have a comment, anything you want to say, put in the chat and it'll come up right away. So chat is a great way to do simultaneous conversation. It's like another route on the side. And you could also share files down there. You could share pictures, whatever you want. There are also reactions. I'm applauding. I give you guys a huge thumbs up for making it here. You guys might have seen you see it on my screen. You can do their reactions. There are only a few right now.
How do you do
can
that?
Clap, and you can do thumbs up. I imagine that will be changed because the whole world is using Zoom right now. Zoom is kind of the go-to technology for this. Finally, you can raise your hand. So you guys want to try, let me see, where is that? Under, where is the raising hand? We had it yesterday. Sorry, under, you guys see it? I don't see it today. I saw it yesterday. I know that it's there.
Participant? No, not participants, right? So you go to participants and you can raise your hand like I just did, right?
Okay, so Bill just raised his hand. Danielle, excellent, good job. So, Danielle, if you actually had something to say in class, you wanted to, if anybody has an answer to this question, raise a hand, you could raise your hand.
So there will actually be interaction during classes like usual. We'll just have to organize it in such a way so we can.
Who has a question? Yeah. So yeah, we're all in different places. We have a range of feelings, people scared, people upset, and we're not actually going to be on campus. If we get on campus by the end of the semester, that will be great news.
Sure.
I mean, things are going extremely well.
Right.
But we have to assume that this is what's happening. It's hard for you guys being this is only your second semester. You don't have that much time under your belt as students. And it's also hard that you have a lot of part-time faculty. They're fantastic faculty members, but they're not full-time members of Bar-Ilan's staff. They come and teach for a year, a semester, and that's why Professor Kohlbrenner and I really wanted to have this chance to speak with you, and that's why we're here. Professor Kohlbrenner, go take it away. I'm going to put myself on mute for a second so you can share what you want to say.
Right. So I think it's important that Dr. Feldman said that this is an emergency situation, and it's an emergency situation not just for you, meaning, it's not like we're sitting in some kind of place and we're like immune to what's going on. This is new for all of us, and we're all experiencing this challenge, and it's something that the world has not experienced in, I don't know, a century. I mean, and the way the world is experiencing it now is completely, completely novel. And the first thing we want to say to all of you is that we are sensitive to this. We know this. We know this is an emergency measure. We know that learning is going to be difficult for everybody under this new rubric. But with that said, I know Dr. Feldman and I were talking about this yesterday. In a way, I think literature, some people will say, well, why are you studying literature now? I mean, there's so many more important things. And in some sense, I think really studying literature now is even more urgent, because the authors that are speaking to us are speaking about things that are very serious, and in many cases close to what's happening to us now. And I think also we're very, very lucky, because a lot of people, they're waiters or they're bartenders or whatever they are, and they're not working. And we have the good fortune actually to be able to continue under very difficult circumstances, I understand, but to continue to do what we love and continue to work. So there's that. I think also it's very important, and Dr. Feldman and I were talking about this yesterday as well, that we don't have the same kind of expectations of you as we would have under a normal semester. You guys know that, right? It has to be clear to you. And we're going to do our best to work with you to, and I think that's why Dr. Feldman said that we're seeing each other on camera. We are a community, and we're very, very, very lucky to be part of that community. And we created something that was really special last semester in our classrooms, in the museum, online, and we really want to continue that. And part of it, continuing that, means really being able to communicate with each other and to be able to share not only class time stuff, because that's going to be important, but also whatever else comes up. In a way, we all have different lifelines, right? We have our families, we have our friends. We also, thankfully, we also have the university, you know. And what I mean by lifeline is, in these times when you're stuck in your house, or stuck in your room, or stuck with whoever you're stuck with, we're another set of resources. I think also it's very important to say that we're going to be experimenting. I don't know what Dr. Feldman's going to be doing. I'm not teaching undergraduates this semester, but graduate students. We don't know what's going to work. I don't know if there's going to be I'm giving a graduate seminar, for example. I'm not going to ask people to sit for 3 hours listening to me talk, right? That's not going to work out. So people may decide, and Dr. Feldman, you'll tell me what you know or what you think you might do. People might decide to give you like a half an hour lecture offline, and then maybe have a meeting online for a half hour or an hour. I mean, I'm just saying for my own, what I think I might do. But I think every instructor is going to have their style, and I think that style is also going to develop and evolve over the course of the semester. So that really requires a kind of patience from you as well, and also some kind of feedback from you. Dr. Feldman, did you want to add something now?
Yeah, you guys are not in a separate silo. We're all the faculty members, all of us, whether full-time or part-time, annual hires. We're talking to each other. We're sharing notes. You guys are not in a separate silo. So we're going to be sharing our own experiences, challenges, successes. And you might find that the courses you're in, which include 107, academic writing 2, 194, or 190, whatever the number is, the fiction course that you're starting. We'll see. They might change, and you have to be. We're all be patient with each other. The fact that we spoke about this yesterday as a group, we're going to be patient with you, and we expect that hopefully you guys will be patient with us. So we know that this is difficult. No one's expecting this to be the semester of your dreams. No one's expecting perfection from anyone, but we're doing this because we think that what we do is important. We think that having some intellectual activity, some progress in all those big values, those lofty values that we started with a few months ago, still have an important role, and in fact might be even more important now. And as an attempt to try to understand this crazy world that we're in and the moment that we are living through. This is a historic moment, and literature, the life of the mind, the words of the ages have something to say about this. I'm going to share a few more words about that, but I'll throw it back to you, Bill, for a few seconds. And I also want to give the students a chance if they want to raise hands or if they want to put stuff in the chat. If you have a few comments about it.
I think we should do that in a second. But what should students do? I mean, you said that, there are no full-time Bar-Ilan English department instructors. What should students do if they're feeling like they're having certain kinds of issues
Yeah.
with
The
instructors?
usual chains, the usual, you know, the university is functioning in a strange way, and in a decentralized way. The undergraduate advisor is still your first address. So the undergraduate advisor has changed, actually. It's no longer Professor Michael Kramer, who actually just retired at the end of the last semester. The new undergraduate advisor is Professor Yael Shapira. I'll write it down for you. Professor Yael Shapira. You can find her contact information on the website, and she's your first address.
I mean, of course, Dr. Feldman, of course, if people feel more comfortable talking to you or to me,
Yeah,
that's also
exactly.
fine.
We are available to you. You have our emails. You have you can chat with us through Moodle. I'm happy. I'm not going anywhere. I've not been out of my house much since last week. We can talk one-on-one on Zoom. We all have this technology.
Office hours are 24/7 or 24/6 or whatever.
Yeah, we're around. So definitely to us. It's very important. There is always undergraduate counseling, meaning there are psychologists and social workers trained to help with stressful situations. This is an extreme stressful situation. University always brings stress. I might have talked to you about this once or twice, probably not enough last semester. There is the Utz and Hadracha, this unit that offers counseling in Hebrew, English, and I believe Arabic as well. You guys, the Arabic students, have a fabulous resource in Rifat. Be in touch with him, talk to him, tell him, what's going on. Even if it's just one line, I feel okay about this online learning. I'm scared. My grandmother lives with us. She's terrified. Just send a line. Sharing how you're feeling is going to help you do some of the other work that is still going to be important for your lives. If you're all bottled up, if you're suffering from great stress and pressure because I don't know what to say about how I'm feeling, you won't be able to do any of the other questions that are valuable and important to take on. How am I understanding this? What am I doing a bit with my career? What's going to happen with my academic program? I still want to get out of here in 3 years. If it's all under the pressure cooker of the immediacy of the moment, which is huge, it'll be difficult for you. So you have the undergraduate advisor for general academic questions. You have the rest of the faculty, Professor Kohlbrenner, me. You have your 107 instructors. Noam is great. Dr. Shupak, fabulous person. Karen Berkman, talk to them. And then finally, you have that next level, Rifat, for Arabic speakers, the undergraduate advising unit under Dr. Abhinav Dar. Everyone there is available to you. If there are administrative questions, people are asking me, and I don't have the answer for this, about Moed Bet. I have a Moed Bet with some of you this week for our class last semester for poetry. I don't have an answer about that. Administrative questions of that nature go to the English department and Racheli Gilboa. Miss Gilboa is working, I don't know from where, but she is the person who is your resource for administrative questions about zchuyot and chavot and things like that, including about exams. There is also Shema and the Minhal Studentim. They're the ones who are giving you instructions, just as we're getting instructions from the rector. Mm-hmm. Long answer. A lot of people. We are all here to help. We're all trying to make it work, and it is. And as Professor Kohlbrenner said, this is not a situation where we have the answers. We are unaffected, and all the pressure is on you. Everyone is in this together. We are all afraid. We are all uncomfortable, and that's important to remember, that we are in this together, even though we are all apart. We are physically apart, but emotionally and intellectually, we are all in this together.
I would just say one more thing before we open things up, is that when we met with our colleagues yesterday, a lot of people were saying, like, well, what are we going to do about the material that we need to cover? What are we going to do about next semester? What are we going to do about this and that? And my answer really was, let's take it a day at a time. I mean, I know sometimes the administrative stuff is urgent, but really, I think the idea is just to focus on what we're doing now and to try as much as possible not to worry about what we're going to do now, in 3 weeks or a month or next semester. Anyway, so how are you guys feeling? What's going on? Anybody want to volunteer? Murat, no? Are they allowed to speak now, Daniel? They're unmuted? You're not, I can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted, sorry. Anybody who wants to say anything, you can put it in those 3 ways. Chat, you can unmute yourself for today if you have a question. I have mine on speaker view. I have one last big message, like my little sermon, and then we'll let you guys go in 10 minutes. Anybody who has questions, comments, advice, things they want to share? Go for it.
Yeah, I got a question. When are we getting the grades for the historical essay?
Okay.
Tough question.
I'm under a lot of stress right now.
Naturally.
As soon as possible is always the right answer.
Possibly, that's good.
Fair enough. Well, if you don't have grades, we're all working as best we can to get them to you. Professor Kobener's got a lot of kids at home. I have kids at home, and we're doing our best. But we will get them to you as soon as possible. That is the accurate and honest.
Thank you for that reminder.
Other questions? Anything else? Everyone doing okay? Very important, Shad. Thank you. No one's doing okay, but we're doing as well as we can, which is that's what's important, and we're all doing.
I think she meant, are we doing okay in the essays?
Oh, that's more important. Like everything about grades. Bill, let me actually ask Bill separately here. You can also send a chat just to one. You can send chats privately.
Right, you can write things like, "Is he really wearing his sweater inside out?" Where is it, Sean thing?
Okay, I asked him a question.
Is that true though? I don't even know.
It could be. It'd be pretty unfair to do things. I mean, how are they going to do Bechinot if no one can get on campus in July?
Right. So Dr. Feldman was saying there's some speculation, which is that this semester might be pass-fail. I mean, I don't know.
Nobody knows. This is not based on anyone telling us anything.
But I think one of the things you should know is if people are present, if people show up in some form or another, you're going to pass. Because, right, you're going to do fine. We're going to be very lenient. I said to my colleagues yesterday, you have to be lenient with the students and you have to be lenient with yourselves. I told this to our colleagues, right? Some of the younger colleagues, because it's stressful for everybody. So part of this now is just being like breathing a little bit more easy and being not hard on yourself for things that you might normally be hard on yourself, because we're also going to be really, really sensitive to those things.
Exactly. The way to meet this moment is unclear. But what is clear is that it involves empathy, kindness, and honesty. Listen to what's going on, be clear about what's going on. Don't be harsh with your families. Help people when you can, and just be empathetic. This is an extremely difficult situation for you, your families, your communities, this country, and all of humanity. And the more kind you are both to yourselves and the people around you, the easier it'll be to get through all of this.
Wow, I think that's a great place to end. If anybody wants to talk.
Well, I have one more comment. I wrote something down. One more thing, as Steve Jobs used to say. I'm hardly Steve Jobs. Here's what I have to say. Now, I've been talking about this with Professor Kohlbrenner, with my family, with a lot of folks. I study the relationship between literature and history. That's what I've always studied. I've studied a lot about World War II, the Holocaust, and one point that has always fascinated me but has become clear in the past week is that moment of transition from normalcy to an extraordinary situation. When does it happen? When does my normal routine end and history with like a big H begin? And it's never clear. One question that's often asked about people who live through emergencies, people who live through refugee crises, people who live through the Holocaust, people who live through major wars is, why didn't you know? Why didn't you run away? Why didn't you prepare better? And they always say, I don't know. I was busy getting my education. I was busy falling in love. I was busy taking care of my kids. That's life. And life doesn't end. But history, when it comes at you, it comes at you very fast. And we act as best we can with imperfect knowledge, and we act decisively, and we act with urgency. And something that we have encouraged all of you to think about since you started your studies with us last semester is to think about yourselves in a critical light. That means how you stand in relationship to the wider world, in relationship to history, in relationship to the people around you. And I want to give you two big words. I'm going to write them in the chat. You can look them up later. But there are two ways to think about how you stand in relationship to your times and to history and to your communities. One is diachronic and one is synchronic. Diachronic means how you stand in relationship to deep time, how things have developed over history. And we are not the first ones to face what used to be called a plague, what is currently called an epidemic or a pandemic, a widespread illness. In half an hour, I'll be reading with other students the plague of 1665 in London and how people wrote about it then and how we might write about our experiences now. People have reacted in all kinds of different ways to emergency situations. And now it's our opportunity to react in some way today. And then there's also synchronic. Everyone around the world, everyone on this chat, everyone in the university, everyone in this country, and certainly, and even everyone around the world is in the same boat. And people react differently. Synchronic is the various responses at a given moment. How you react is not going to be the way that everyone in your community reacts or how everyone in your class is going to react. But you want to look at yourself in contrast to everyone else. So this same experience at this given moment, the same experience in relationship to time, and this strange experience of the virus is not personal. Everyone is in the same boat, but everyone is going to suffer differently. Everyone is going to contend with it differently. It is this very odd experience of humanity being all at one and everyone feeling completely separate. And that has a kind of metaphor for the kind of learning we're doing. We're all in the same boat, but each of us is kind of on a separate corner of it. We can't be together, but we are intellectually wrestling with the same thing. There are resources, there are voices from the past that can speak to you. That's the diachronic element. And there might be other people, there might be things you read. I'm finding a lot of solace reading things that are coming from Singapore right now. There could be other experiences that are synchronic, how other people are reacting to it. People, maybe if you're Arabic, you're reading about what's happening in Lebanon or happening in Syria, or if you might be reading about what's happening in Italy, if we have some Italian speakers, or what's happening, Talia said, what's happening in South Africa. Finding those voices can matter a lot to you. At the end of last semester, when we went to that museum, when we had that great day, we talked about ourselves in relationship to history and you guys as part of that unfolding chain. There's no better example of that. We are part of some historic moment and we are going through it together, separately, in our different communities, and we have the aid both of our professors, we have the aid of each other, and we have the help of literature, of these voices that might be living with us at this moment or from the past. That's the end of my message for you guys. And Professor Kohlbrenner, last words?
Well, just thank you. That was fantastic. And I think it's important. Be in touch with us. Be in touch with each other. Be in touch with us. Listen, for me, this is a great time, part of my day, great part of my week. I get to see all you guys.
Yeah, I'm going back to first grade now. The other room.
Okay, see you later. Good luck with everything. We'll be in touch, yeah?
Good luck to everyone. Let's do our best. And thank you guys for joining us this morning.
Okay.
Okay, take care. I'm gonna post this on the course pages for Professor Kohlbrenner. You'll post it on your course page, and maybe we'll send it to the 107 instructor as well.
You're gonna send me a link?
Yeah, I'm gonna I'll send you a link.
Fantastic. Great.
Okay,
Thank you.
be well, everyone. Be healthy, abide by the rules, and good health to you and your families.
Okay, be well.
Okay, Godspeed to everyone.